lot of lines to remember. I don't know. This is the moment when I go, I wish I'd only done 4 movies. All right, here we go. Let's Dance. Well, obviously, that's Footloose. So you started with a very, very easy one.
Let's dance!
In the original cut of the movie, the second I said Let's Dance, the song started, but the movie went to slow motion. And they tested it, and audiences were not into the slow motion because they'd seen this whole thing. They wanted to see everybody dance. So we went back and reshot the ending of that. We had shot the original movie in Utah, and we went back to LA, and they brought in some new dancers, and so that whole last dance sequence was shot on a soundstage. All right, So Long, Earth, catch you on the flip side. Well, I'm guessing that's got to be Apollo 13, right? Yeah, okay.
So long, Earth. Catch you on the flip side.
NASA allowed us as civilians, which they really, at that point, rarely did, to experience the Vomit Comet, the KC-135, which is an airplane that they use to create zero gravity on Earth. And it flies out over the Gulf of Mexico, and you go straight up and then you go straight down. The pilot, just basically does this with the joystick. The gravitational pull of the Earth and the centrifugal force balance for 25 seconds and you float. Ron Howard was talking to Steven Spielberg, who said the weightlessness is going to be really hard to accomplish with wires and taking them out, and that is a much different world in terms of computer-generated images. So why don't you build the setup there and shoot in the Vomit Comet? And that's what we did. And I didn't throw up, but I had a cameraman throw up on me, which is interesting in zero gravity because you kind of see it before it happens. Okay, it's going to storm. It's going to tear down that valley like a son of a gun. Are these supposed to get increasingly harder? Storm, it's going to tear down that valley like a son of a gun. I honestly don't know. Is it Friday the 13th? That's from Friday the 13th? It's going to storm. It's going to tear down that. Okay.
It's gonna storm. You can tear down that valley like a son of a gun.
The thing is that back then, a lot of these kind of teen-type slasher movies were morality tales. So if you had sex or you did drugs, you were going to die violently. And I did both, like in succession. And so of course I was going to go. Yeah, my death in the horror film world is famous. It's so famous that unfortunately, when it comes to signing autographed pictures, the number one picture that I sign is of me dead, which I always find a little bit disconcerting when, someone comes up and just, says, "Hey, would you sign this for me?" And it's like, I got a damn plan. I think this has to be Tremors.
I got a goddamn plan!
It's the only part that I've ever thought to myself, I really would want to see who this guy is now, where we left him. Being out there was kind of a magical situation with Kira, 9 months pregnant. There was a midwife about an hour away, and then the hospital was down in LA, which was like 3.5 hours. It was kind of like the clock was ticking in order to get the shoot done and get her within swinging distance of someone who could deliver the baby. These are the facts of the case, and they are undisputed. I haven't played that many lawyers. I mean, could this be the only lawyer I've ever played? Yeah, I think this is A Few Good Men. And doesn't that sound like an Aaron Sorkin line? These are the facts of the case, and they are undisputed.
These are the facts of the case, and they are undisputed.
Tom and Demi and Rob Reiner and Jack Nicholson clearly knocking it out of the park in that very iconic role and very iconic scene, Kiefer and I would get together and play guitars outside of our trailer. Because we had those, super short haircuts, I think he might have almost had his head shaved or something. He had very, very short hair, and I had my, Marine thing. And we were in our Marine uniforms, but like they were since they were not very comfortable, they were usually like open and collar open, and we looked like some kind of like strange punk band. In reality, we're still 11-year-old boys locked in a cellar imagining what our lives would have been if we'd escaped. I know exactly what this is. This is Mystic River.
We're still 11-year-old boys locked in a cellar, imagining what our lives would have been if we'd escaped.
Clint, kind of famously, he doesn't like to put actors through meetings or auditions or any kind of stuff like that. He just wants to give you the part or not give you the part. I would definitely put in my top 5, if not top 3, because we were all just, dudes, Tim and Sean and me and Fish, just hanging out in Boston, having these great experiences with someone who we just found so iconic. And, he famously shoots very short days and doesn't do a lot of takes. And it was a blast. Well, I don't give a fuck if you're hungry or not. You eat because I'm telling you to eat. Well, I don't give a fuck if you're hungry or not. You eat because I'm telling you to eat. That's Sleepers.
Well, I don't give a fuck if you're hungry or not. You eat because I'm telling you to eat.
I'm from Philly, and rarely have I played characters that are from Philly. And when people do characters from Philly, they never do a Philadelphia dialect. It's just, everyone makes Philadelphians sound like they're from Brooklyn. It's just a thing. I don't really know why it is a thing, but it's a thing. So I went to Barry Levinson, and in this case in Sleepers, and I said, this Noakes guy, see how I said it, Noakes. I think he resents these New York kids, and I think he's got a little bit, besides all of, the fucked up shit that he does to these poor boys, some of it also spurs from this kind of deep Philadelphia resentment of New York, always thinking that it's cooler and better. You don't make history by following the rules, you make it by seizing the moment. You don't make history by following the rules, you make it by seizing the moment. Like maybe Frost Nixon? Nah. I can't believe I don't remember. Listen, there's been a lot of lines to remember. I don't know. Hollow Man. Oh, wow, that doesn't sound like a Hollow Man line. Okay.
You don't make history by following the rules. You make it by seizing the moment.
I mean, the thing is that you get part of somebody invisible, and you think, "Oh, this is awesome. I'll just record my lines, and I'll be at home sleeping late." No, I was basically the green screen. People are familiar with the concept of green screen, where you put the background in, and then weatherman does it, or whatever. When you're going the other way and taking my character out, I had to be green for most of it. Hollow Man, honestly, in a lot of ways, was one of the most physically challenging movies I ever did. And we also got shut down for about, I think 6 months or something like that, right in the middle of it. So it went on and on and on. And there were times when I thought I was never going to do anything else in my life other than walk around in a green suit. I am a nice guy, just a different kind of nice guy. This is definitely the River Wild, right?
I am a nice guy. Just a different kind of nice guy.
Listen, when you get the call that you're going to be in a movie with Meryl Streep, and Meryl Streep to me was, and continues to be, probably the closest thing that I've had to an actor whose career I would want to model mine, after, because she's done so many different kinds of things in so many different kinds of genres, embodying these characters that you really believe her every time, and that is something that not a lot of people have accomplished. There's people that give it a shot, but we really are mostly comfortable seeing them do one thing when you really think about it. People aren't always what they appear to be. Don't forget that. No idea. People aren't always what they appear to be. Don't forget that. No, I got no idea. Wild Things. Ah, that's good.
People aren't always what they appear to be. Don't forget that.
We were out in the swamp one night, and a lot of mosquitoes. Wow. And we're shooting some scene, I don't remember what it was, and by kind of a river. They had kind of floated a raft out there so that they could put a light. All of a sudden I hear across the walkie-talkie, "Hey, I think I just saw a floater." and it was a body that was floating by. It was kind of what indicative of the vibe of the movie. Do you ever get the feeling there's something going on that we don't know about? I know that this is Diner.
You ever get the feeling there's something going on we don't know about?
This is one of the lines that people will come up and quote to me. You know, Barry Levinson, what can I say? Great writer. This is his first movie. He wrote a lot of great lines, and that's one of them. I don't know if I 100% got it, honestly, you know, but it just has a certain resonance. And they stole my truck, too. Oh, this must be the Bondsman. Yeah. Well, you hear, all of a sudden I slipped into Hub and stole my truck, too.
And they stole my truck, too.
I love doing this show. It was absolute blast, great, fun character. The combination of somebody who is a complete badass, demon ass kicker, but also such a mama's boy, can't get out of his mom's, garage, can't keep a marriage together or develop a meaningful relationship with his son, I've always said if I'm gonna be the hero, I just want him to be complicated in some kind of way. Remain calm, all is well. Animal House, first movie, 19 years old, in acting school, no agent. I say, remain calm, all is well, and they flatten me into the sidewalk.
Remain calm. All is well.
Went back into acting school, went back, being a busboy. What little money I made on the movie, I spent in about, an hour. I was like, oh, okay, that's great, but you're not a movie star. You were just in that movie, You got to roll up your sleeves and get to work.